Ira Rennert's $500 million mega mansion. Ira Rennert, a billionaire, chose to build his own dream home, Fairfield, in the late 1990s. The site for the new home, dubbed Fairfield, was controversial since inhabitants of the neighbourhood town of Southampton objected to the project's influence on their community. Ira Rennert, a junk board billionaire, owns the mansion in the Hamptons. It is also a touchy subject. Forbes estimates that the business entrepreneur is worth $5.9 billion. He was recently in court to defend the funding of his Sagaponack estate. Representatives of a now-defunct mining company he used to run allege he plundered it to develop it, and he was forced to pay at least $118 million in damages in late February. Today, we will tell you the truth about Ira Rennert's $500 million mega mansion. However, since Rennert built it in the 1990s, the home, which cost around $110 million, but is now worth considerably more. Before we start, go ahead and subscribe. Also, check out our other videos to support the channel. Without any further delay, let us start. Rennert's estate is one of the country's most opulent residences. Rennert's mansion, according to Cranes, measures 62,000 square feet, or about an acre and a half of land. Moreover, the property is enormous, spanning 63 acres of prime Hampton coastline. It is one of the most valuable as well. According to the Fiscal Times, the mansion is valued at $248 million and will be listed for almost $500 million today, according to one real estate broker. On this estate, there are a number of houses. Fairfield also has a playhouse with 2 pool cottages in addition to the huge main house. The structure covers more than 110,000 square feet in total. Depending on who you ask, the home boasts anywhere from 21 to 29 bedrooms and 18 to 39 baths. Fairfield has 29 bedrooms and 39 bathrooms, according to most accounts, although Zillow, which aggregates real estate data from public records, has 21 bedrooms and 18 bathrooms. For what it's worth, we believe that having more bedrooms than bathrooms makes more sense. It is possible that the confusion stems from whether you are counting rooms in all of the property structures or simply the main house. It has a total of 12 chimneys. In a 2012 report on Rennert's feud with his neighbours over his helicopter flight path, Mother Jones mentions a dozen chimneys, presumably leading to a dozen stoves. It has a dining area that is 91 feet long. A basketball court and a 2-lane bowling alley are included in the 10,000 square foot playhouse. According to Cranes and the Southampton news site 27 East, this is the case. Rennert's is said to be reclusive, therefore we do not know whom he hangs out with within this playhouse. A billiards area, 2 tennis courts and 2 squash courts are also available. There is a 164-seat theatre in the mansion. This place might also be used to stage Broadway shows. Rennert's property taxes alone would cover the cost of a few more homes. Rennert's property taxes in 2008 were $483,742.54, or more than $40,000 a month, according to the Curbed Hamptons. According to CNBC, he paid $649,281 in taxes last year, which is enough to buy 2 houses in most other sections of the country. The garage has a capacity of 100 vehicles. The hot tub is said to have cost $150,000. In addition, there are 3 swimming pools. Rennert's big ideas for Fairfield have repeatedly irritated his neighbours. Neighbours thought that the estate was audacious when he built it in the 1990s, according to New York magazine Tooth and Nail. They resisted the construction. They were also displeased when he attempted to construct a 10,000 square foot private museum on the property. Rennert owns $500 million worth of art, according to Curbed. That's why his neighbours were irritated by his plans. He allegedly began construction on the new structure without requesting authorisation first from the community. Rennert's attempt to exploit his pool house irritated them as well. In 2013, he applied for permission to convert one of his pool homes into a Pilates studio. And yep, another bathroom. His neighbours were said to be irritated by the number of zoning laws that he'd already broken. Fairfields is similar to other estates erected at the turn of the century by tycoons, including the Pratts, Goulds and Whitneys, as well as Otto H. Kahn. According to Robert B. Mackay, director of the Society for the Preservation of Long Island Antiquities in Cold Spring Harbour, their ambition and expectations into rural Long Island also created concerns amongst neighbours. He is one of 3 editors of the Society book, Long Island Country Houses and Their Architects 1860 to 1940, which was published last year in collaboration with Norton and Company. The attitude of native Long Islanders to the invasion of the rich appears to have been ranged from rage to resistance in bewilderment, said Mr. Mackay, whose co-editors were Anthony K. Baker and Carol A. Traynor. The modern-day distinction in Sagaponack appears to be that the huge edifice and its 6 to 7 outbuildings have sparked widespread fears in the neighbourhood that the home would be used as a conference centre or other institution in the future. Since those homes were all erected around the same period as summer residence, no one would have any questions what a Whitney, Vanderbilt or Kahn meant to accomplish with their enormous edifices. In those days, there was no income taxes. Orrin S. Finkel of Great Neck, an expert in historic estates, said as much. The majority of these houses were designed by well-known architects of the day as a method to outdo your friends. Fairfield is little compared to Oheka, a French chateau-style mansion designed by Delano and Aldrich and finished in 1917 on 443 acres near Cold Springs Harbour by banker Kahn. Oheka outstrips Fairfield by 50,000 square feet. The main mansion at 109,000 square feet is only the second largest private residence in the United States, trailing only George Vanderbilt's 174,000 square foot Biltmore House in Asheville, erected in 1895. The Oheka, which featured 72 rooms and 25 bathrooms, had its own 18-hole golf course, as well as a racetrack and an airfield. Thousands of tons of soil were carried by Kahn to construct the 90-foot-high mound on which the castle rests. When the Gould property was purchased by Daniel Guttenheim, whose family made a fortune in silver and copper mining, the 60,000-square-foot 40-room mansion was renamed Hempstead House. Harry G. Guttenheim, whose third wife, Alicia Patterson, founded Newsday, built his 20,000-square-foot home, Falaise, on 90-acre subdivision from his father's 262-acre estate in 2013. Charles Pratt, one of the Standard Oil Company's founders and the creator of Pratt Institute, bought 800 acres of Glen Cove and turned it into a family compound with 82 buildings and 21 dwellings. The Manor House on Dosaurus Lane, built by Thomas T. Pratt in 1911, is one of the remaining Pratt residences. It is now known as the Harrison Conference Centre, and it now contains 198 bathroom suites, thanks to additional extensions. Over the next 5 years, Oheka will be turned into a 50-suite luxury wellness spa, and Nassau County currently owns the entire Sands Point complex except 36 acres and runs it as a museum and offices for the county's Parks Department. Opponents of the Sagaponack home argue that the institutional uses of the great houses of the past, now that the mansions have outlived their viability as private residences, bolstered their thesis that Fairfield is heading in the same way, only this time from the beginning. That is all for today, folks. See you soon with another amazing video.